what's the number one skill you would also want to develop if they wanted to work in data engineering now that maybe wasn't even on the radar in 2021?
Very good
Yeah.
question. One skill?
Just pick one. Obviously there are probably 10, but that you would recommend, but like pick one.
I mean, the number one new skill I would say is get really good with the AI tools. Like
Hmm.
that's where I'd put my attention, assuming everything else is equal. Like,
Right.
you've read our marvelous book, you know the fundamentals, you
Yeah.
know the basics of the various cloud tools or data platform tools out there. I'd say if you have that foundational basis, I'd be going all in on the AI tools, whatever that
Yeah.
is for your company. But I
Yeah.
would say that's the new skill I would be going all in on.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like I said, everything else being equal, though, if
Yeah.
not, it's hard
It's
to
never
say
equal.
because
It's hard to say. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, because the ecosystem is so fragmented too. Like is you got the Crips and the Bloods, right? You got Databricks and Snowflake, right? So what gang do you want to join? What bandana do you want to put on?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you going to get initiated? So that's kind of it. But the new Glock, so to speak, to use the analogy, it's your AI tools. That's your new.
Yeah. So Lakshmanan said tool calling was his thing. He's like, MCP and tool calling. That's what I would really focus on right now. So very similar
Sure.
to what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. All the stuff, right? Then
Yeah. Yeah.
then there's questions about is MCP going to even be a thing right now, right? I mean,
Who
I was
knows?
talking to
Yeah.
Nick Schrock, and he's kind of like, I don't like MCP. I think it's dumb. So
Interesting. What's
yeah,
his take?
I'll need to go back and look at the podcast. I'm going to release it next week. But
Yeah.
he had some criticism of. I don't think dumb is not the right word, but it's like it definitely wasn't like it's a point in time. I think is what he's trying to say, right?
Mhm.
So now I completely misquoted Nick. But yeah, MCP is definitely a big thing. I mean, I use
Yeah.
it all the time. I think it's dope. But I think just understanding like the nuances of the models. Like when I used MCP for a while with Claude, like it works until it doesn't, right? It works until it runs out of tokens. And the thing is with MCP is depending on what you're trying to call and what you're trying to do, it blows through tokens very, very fast. And I think that's, but if you're not in it all day using these tools, how are you going to know? Right? So that's just it. So I would say, you got to be in this stuff every single day using it. That's the thing on LinkedIn, I had a post the other day about this where, if I see people in the data management and the knowledge space saying, oh, well, if you maybe, because these people, data modeling is a weird sport, especially where we call it a sport intentionally. It's a weird one where you have a lot of people who have like their method, their framework they came up with back in the day, of course.
Right.
And it never got popular. But now they're bringing it back saying, but if you use this, AI is going to work. And then you ask them, okay, so show me how it works. It's like, well, I don't use AI because it's stupid.
Okay, well, that's not. Yeah.
So you have basically a flat earther who's coming around and saying my brand of religion is great, that so it's just interesting. Like what AI is doing is it's bringing a lot of people out of the woodwork, and I think there's some valid things as well, like what's happening with knowledge. Friends like One Cicada, who will tell you himself that he felt like he was like wandering the wilderness for years alone,
and then all of a sudden, yep,
knowledge graphs and semantic web are popular.
Yeah.
Semantic web paper talk about agents, and so there's some validity to it. But I also think like you have to be in these tools every day.
Yeah,
you can't just say, well, data glossaries are great, or business glossaries, use those. I'm like, nobody fucking uses them. They never used them in the first place. Why do you think they're going to do them now?
Right. It's kind of like the old way of doing computer science research, where Xerox PARC, they had their own like little facility and they developed the GUI, which was really cool, right? Xerox Alto and all that stuff. But now like research and staying on the cutting edge, you have to constantly be interacting with everyone and using all the stuff that's out there. That's how R&D works these days in Silicon Valley, basically.
Yeah. And that's how you should be doing R&D with AI in the real world. I mean, that's why I'm doing this hackathon. It's more to just like have fun, explore the edges of this stuff, come up with, unhinged, but I think unhinged ideas, but also using it as a learning exercise for people, right?
Yeah.
So I think, to me, that's a net win for the community and stuff. But yeah, if you're not in this stuff every day, like, but you're going to say AI sucks, I would say, please at least try and have an informed opinion.
Right. Yeah. If you want to bring back your old thing, then you need to be using it in the context of new tools and showing us why it's better than other things that are out there.
Why it makes it better, right? Like, I'm all about like making AI better, because like the current form of AI is great, but it also kind of sucks, right? Like there's a lot of shortcomings.
Agree.
But yeah, just please just use it. We're doing
yeah. That makes sense. That's fair.
Just stop spouting nonsense, though.